Today we're going to cover the importance of using Uplifts with FTx POS. Uplifts is the name of our program used for upselling items. They are triggered by a set list of SKUs, and when a SKU matching one of the selected trigger SKUs is scanned, both a customer-facing ad and a prompt for the cashier will appear. The prompt will walk the employee through a sales pitch to get the customer to purchase additional items, whether these are additional items part of an already existing promo, or to convert customers using a competitor product. This updates employees and customers in real time about promotions. On the employee-facing side, there is a win-lose button, which gives the employee incentive to upsell a product. By giving employees the tools that they need, they'll have more drive to push the green win button. This gives you an idea of how important uplifts can be to a store's cloud POS and increase sales as a result. Now that we've discussed the importance of using uplifts to increase sales, let's move on to creating an uplift. Let's start by going to the control center and logging in. Once we've accessed the dashboard, we can click the menu on the top left of the screen for signage. Under that, you will see a tab that says Uplift. Clicking on it will bring us to a new page where we'll be able to view the status of current Uplift promos. We'll come back to this page later, but for now we can click Add New on the top right corner of the screen. This brings us to a new page where we'll be able to add all the information that will appear on the prompt. Under Details, we see the names of different field categories we can apply to an uplift. Note that everything marked with an asterisk is a required field. The top field is where we can give a name to the specific uplift promotion that we're creating. The name of the uplift will not be shown to the customer or to the employee, it's for internal use exclusively. Under those, we'll see a field where we can insert a script for the cashier to read once the item triggers the uplift at checkout. Here we can see an example of what one of those messages might look like if typed out. The same message will also appear as is on the POS screen facing the employee. To define uplift triggers, we'll go to the Options tab. A trigger value is the number of pieces that need to be scanned before the uplift is triggered. In an example where the trigger value is set to 1, the employee would only need to scan 1 unit of the UPC to trigger the uplift to pop up. Other settings under this tab include setting up the employee SPIF and customer discount amount. A SPIF is an added incentive that employees can earn for selling specific items. In this way, SPIFs can also be thought of as a bonus that employees can earn for being good salespeople. Here we are able to assign a SPIF amount and define how many items are needed to allow the SPIF to be paid out to an employee. Below that, we can also see the option to add a customer discount to the uplift and then choose whether the discount can be applied to all items or just a single item in the UPC list. We can also set up an auto win if a certain quantity of items is sold, as well as require that a loyalty account can be used. The next tab would be the Schedules tab. Here we can set a start and stop date for the promotion, as well as determining if the schedule will be used or not. Now that we've discussed some of the options used to create a detailed uplift, let's talk briefly about how to manage the specific items that we would like to apply our uplifts to. If we go back to the top in the Options tab, we'll notice a tab that says Item Management. In this tab, we'll be able to select a list of items that we want to trigger an uplift message. For example, if you were a customer and decided to buy a jumbo box of coffee at a store, a pop-up asking you if you would like to buy a bag of sugar to save $1 would appear at checkout. Once the jumbo box of coffee has been scanned in this example, a box of coffee triggered the ad for a bag of sugar because the two items together are part of the sale that can give the customer a discount on their total order. To set our own item triggers, we can click the Manage button to bring up a list of filters. These would be all the items in our store that a trigger can be applied to. From here we can select filters to sort through all the products and decide which of our items we'd like to apply an uplift to. Once we've selected our items, we can use the green arrow button to move them over to a selected list, and then click Apply in the bottom corner. After we've selected our items, we can move on to selecting the UPC items that you'd like to add to the list of items that your employee can choose to add to a sale. Once we determine which items will be applied, we can go over here on the right and select the advertisements that we'd like to go with our deal. Lastly, this is where we'll insert the ads. And we'll see a space that says Manage Location Assignment. In this section, we'll be able to select the location of the store that we'd like to assign our uplift to. We'll select All for this particular uplift. Now we can return to the screen that we started on. We can click the Uplifts tab, and the uplift that we just created will populate here. This concludes today's training on creating an uplift in Control Center of FTx POS.